There were absolutely zero F's given with Batman in The Dark Knight Returns, none whatsoever. This man was still kicking about as Batman, scrapping with bozos of Gotham left and right while being in his mid-50s. Bro was 55 years old being a vigilante. On top of that, a big focus of The Dark Knight Returns is how Bruce decides to don the cape and cowl once again after going on a 10-year hiatus. Insane to think about how he retired from being Batman for a whole decade.
Tonight also marks the 10th anniversary of the last sighting of the Batman. Most of our younger viewers now think of him as a myth.
Even though it might seem as if an older Batman wouldn't be as much of an issue or a threat, since you'd think he'd be slower, not as agile, and just way out of his prime. That might be true to a slight extent, sure, but an older, more gruff Batman is arguably just as dangerous, cause the older you get, the less and less you care about mofos and the damage you inflict on them. Not only was this Batman acting like a whole beast, he was built like one too. My boy was thick. This man looked like he ate Bruce Wayne, built like an absolute unit. Have absolute Batman and the Dark Knight Returns Batman fight crime alongside one another and they'll cause a whole plethora of problems for Gotham's criminals. Anytime you see the Dark Knight Returns Batman in anything outside the comic or the two-parter animated movie, he's always bigger than anyone else around him. He's just a big boy. Just look at the skin in Batman Arkham City compared to the other skins available in that game. The most hilarious version is in LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham. Like, goodness gracious. Batman out here thinking he a whole Lego figurine of the Hulk or something. The Batman cartoon had a futuristic timeline episode with Bruce Wayne looking a lot older, and it's very reminiscent of the Dark Knight Returns iteration. Batman the Animated Series also did a similar thing, which I'm pretty sure was the first animated adaptation of that story to some degree, since that episode released way before the two-part animated movie. Zack Snyder's iteration of Batman took heavy inspiration from the Dark Knight Returns in Batman v Superman, stylistically speaking of course, with the bat suit and Bruce Wayne being older, also incorporating the classic Batman and Superman fight with the battle armor. Luckily enough, this iconic Batman story had an all-time banger of an adaptation. Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and 2 are some of the best DC animated movies ever released, period. You go to any top 10 list of DC animated films, The Dark Knight Returns two-parter gotta be up there.
It is a masterpiece, James. Complete, comprehensive.
The art style is sexy, the animation is smooth like cocoa butter, and the fight scenes, brother.
It's cinema.
Batman vs. the Mutant Leader round 1 and 2, Batman vs. Superman, any scenes with Batman and Joker. This is one of the golden standards for adapting a comic story into an animated format. It's also one of the last really well-made DC animated movies based on an iconic story. Doesn't do anything drastically different just for the sake of it. It's just an all-round faithful adaptation. The movie begins with Bruce Wayne participating in a sports car race where he pushes his vehicle to the limit, causing it to malfunction, flip over, and crash. It explodes and Bruce Wayne dies. Rest in peace to my goat. But nah, he was fine, just dipped out the car last second. Gotham's crime rate had been at an all-time high thanks to the actions of the Mutant gang, who have been wreaking havoc across the city. Commissioner Gordon is in his 70s and is on the verge of retirement. Seems as if Bruce has no intentions of coming out of retirement himself, but all you need is a dose of hallucinations and flashbacks to Crime Alley. Enough motivation for even a retired Batman to peep game and lock in. But this isn't just some random night on patrol. This is his first time putting on the costume in 10 years, to the point where the younger generation thinks that Batman was just a myth or an urban legend. We gotta be dramatic with it and go out with style. Simple interrogation tactics here and there just to get a groove of things. Gotta pose for the camera real quick. Casually recreates one of the most iconic comic covers in history. Man, the hoe's gonna love this one. Gotta send this on the IG. Even an older police officer in the middle of a car chase just sat back and relaxed once he saw Batman was back in business. Talking to his partner like, yeah, you youngins don't know about Batman. When you see him in action, just let him cook. Jim Gordon just getting some groceries, but unfortunately, one of the Mutant gang members pulls up to the shop and Jim Gordon ends up getting shot and killed.
Commissioner James Gordon has been shot and killed.
Sorry.
Wait, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. Commissioner Gordon has shot and killed a 17-year-old mutant.
All the Mutant gang members meet up at the dump, where the Mutant leader is having a whole yap session about wanting to kill Jim Gordon, followed by wanting to rip apart the Batman next so the mutants can take Gotham for themselves. Batman pulls up in a whole ass tank and starts shooting up the place, taking out several members left and right. Don't worry, he didn't kill nobody, it was all rubber bullets. We're going by Batman Arkham Knight's logic with how you be murking criminals roaming around the streets. The Mutant leader calls him out, saying Batman is nothing but a wuss, telling him to come out and fight him like a man. Batman's like, I bet. Hops out the tank mobile to see if he still got it after all these years. Batman starts off with a few good looks in. He wastes absolutely no time and gets to boxing. Mutant leader catches him off guard, tumbles him over, and knees him in the face while he's on the ground. The audacity of this man to pick him up and bite him on the shoulder with his sharp ass teeth. Batman's speeds just aren't what they used to be. Loki getting rocked right now. It's a tough sight to see. You're like, alright, he's getting back to it, but stamina at that age can only get you so far. Gets his arm broken, barely makes it out alive, and is only saved thanks to Carrie Kelly playing dress up and pretending to be Robin. Damn, not my glorious king getting laid out like this. He gotta get his leg back in round 2. He cannot get disrespected like this. The mayor of Gotham wanted to have peaceful negotiations with the mutant leader once he was brought into custody after his little excursion with Batman, but the leader ends up killing the mayor in the process once they're in the same room. Then the former deputy mayor becomes the official mayor in the wake of the previous mayor's death. And I just want y'all to take a good look at this man's chin, bro. Somebody please explain to me what the hell I'm looking at. Double chin? Nah, this nigga got a triple chin. Batman orchestrates a plan to have all the mutant members meet up at a specific location with the sole purpose of defeating their leader and forcefully putting their madness to an end. All he needed was a little prep time, realizing he can't necessarily match the leader's savagery 1-to-1, but would rather need to outsmart him. He really starts to get the drop on him like crazy. Got him with that weave 1-2, like they're just going blow for blow right now. You see Batman throughout the fight strategically attack the mutant leader in certain areas, specific cuts above the eye for distraction purposes, or taking into account how much the mud environment would slow him down.
That a tickle?
That was a nerve bundle in your deltoid. Might not have hurt, but you won't be moving that arm for a while.
The mutant leader really thought he was T'Challa for a second here, and outright performs a flying sidekick on Batman. Freaking pimp slapped him, and now, bro, what he does to Batman is just straight up disrespectful. Slow down. Freeze frame. Hey yo! This is the craziest position I've ever seen Batman in. Bro trying to force all 19 inches of Mutant, holding Batman up like he's sorry. It looks like his raps. But from this moment on, Batman would forever lock in and quit goofing around, delivering an all-time level line.
You don't get it, son. This isn't a mud hole. It's an operating table. And I'm the surgeon.
The rest of the mutant gang is just standing there in shock and awe, with Batman hovering over their fallen leader like, yeah, I'm your daddy now. The switch up was crazy because the next scene immediately jumps to the mutant gang now being the sons of Batman. Batman really turned half of an entire army of criminals into his servants. Unfortunately, Batman's antics gave Joker enough reason to get back on the saddle horse of demon timing. About Batman on the news and he's like, oh word, my Pookie Bear Batman is back out on these streets?
Oh, say less!
To even more problems, the President of the United States ordered Superman to have a chat with Batman so that he could stop his antics. Who does this man Clark Kent think he's posing for like that? This ain't a men's magazine cover, big bro. Meanwhile, Joker is set to appear on some talk show with his psychiatrist to convey the notion that he's a changed man and is no longer the menace he once was. To add insult to injury, the new police commissioner, Ellen Yendel, has a massive hate boner for Batman and vigilantes, going as far as ordering Batman's arrest the second she's appointed commissioner. I don't care how reformed the Joker seemed, a whole lot of them stupid as hell for allowing him to go on live TV just so he can kill everybody in the audience, including the psychiatrist and the talk show host. Batman tried to stop him but had to deal with GCPD officers and was bodying them like it was nothing. Him and Robin go to the fairgrounds to stop Joker. Absolutely diabolical the way he just shoots random civilians even if they aren't in his way. Classic Joker behavior. Batman and Joker have a little kerfuffle in the Lover's River and have their last climatic confrontation.
All the people I've murdered by letting you live.
I never kept count.
I did.
I love you for it. It's finally here, isn't it? The moment we both dreamed about. Come on, finish me.
I made you lose control, and they'll kill you for it. See you in hell.
There had been some political conflict going on between the US and the Soviets in Corto Maltese, where the Soviets launched a missile targeting the area where thousands of US troops were stationed. Lucky for them, Superman was able to stop the missile, but the blast radius ended up weakening him for a little bit, and the blast sent out a massive electromagnetic pulse that took out the power across the majority of the United States. A week passes by, and Superman is mostly fine, but is still now 100%. On top of that, there had been strange weather patterns causing very little sunlight thanks to the blast. last. But power in some cities would be turned back on in due time. The president orders Superman to finally bring in Batman. So Superman asks Batman where they finna meet up at, and Batman says catch this fade in Crime Alley. Batman pulls up with new drip, and Superman in standard fashion tries to talk him out of it. But Batman wastes no time to chit chat and immediately wants to box. Superman sends him back flying with a simple one punch, having him on his knees next to a truck. Jet boots in to attack Superman just for him to counter that like it was nothing. In the nick of time, Batman hits Superman with the sock of a lifetime, having him laid out in the snow. Batman piecing him up with left rights, both of them having no sense of their surroundings. How you gonna box with your homies so hard you start crashing into other people's living spaces while they're still inside? First, Superman throws your car just to miss when you have no car insurance, and both of these bozos crash into your apartment with barely any power, and it's cold and snowing outside. Superman flies him up into the air to slam him down next to a construction building. Batman performs a clean maneuver by jumping up to cut down the bulldozer and throws the entire goddamn thing down on Superman. Utilizing his surroundings as best he can, Superman looking like he getting punked out here the way Batman is getting these hits in. But you can tell Superman's not really trying to go all out. He literally grabs him by his bare helmet, and all Bruce can do is just sit there and think,
damn, he really about to rock my shit.
They go toe to toe with straight hands for a little bit. Batman hits him with some kind of acid that temporarily blinds him. So for a few seconds, Superman had no vision. Call him Daredevil, Wanda Maximoff, or Zack Snyder. Oliver Queen was in the right place at the right time, ready to shoot Superman with a kryptonite arrow. Clark's not even worried about that as he notices Bruce's heart going like crazy, like, hey man, you good bro? Your heart's not looking too good.
I don't give a fuck!
In all the years to come, in your most private moments, I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
Yes, sir! This nigga's spitting! Damn, nigga!
Bruce then fakes his death by staging a heart attack, blows up Wayne Manor, Alfred dies tragically, and Bruce decides to hide underground with the rest of his Sons of Batman army to protect Gotham from the shadows and effectively fight his war on crime. He would teach them all his ways, secrets, techniques, the whole 9 yards. Him and the rest of the army would set up shop in the cave so that he could continue his life's mission. I mean, what can I say? It's a banger animated movie. I've heard about like the sequel the comic had, The Dark Knight Strikes Again. I don't know if I want to read that, to be honest. I heard it was some booty cheeks and the art looks really ugly, so I don't think I want to torture myself. But not with this movie though. Certified DC banger if I've ever seen one. Please make DC content have this much sauce again.